Hi everybody, I'm Jack. This is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Just another day in paradise here in Costa Rica. It's Monday, one of my favorite days of the week. Actually, I have a saying, if you hate or dread Monday, you're doing life the wrong way. Anyhow, no, I've just been running around doing some errands this morning, trying to get things wrapped up before I go to the States on Wednesday. And I thought I'd start the week off by talking about my top five benefits on the raw vegan lifestyle. And these are just the top five benefits in my opinion. I'm sure that's very subjective, and top is, well, that's kind of opinion right there. But anyhow, I do these type of videos every day. So if you're not already subscribed to the channel, I'd appreciate it if you'd go ahead and click that subscribe button, and then check on the little bell and check send notifications so you will stay subscribed to the channel. You know, it's a good Monday as always. I love Mondays. I just love life in general, waking up on the mountain. But I'm a little bit split today. I'm just a little slightest bit down. I was on Facebook earlier today and just happened to catch a random post from a group that I don't go to a whole lot, and talking about somebody had passed away. And this person, I didn't know them personally, but they had reached out a number of times to me actually, not kind of regularly, but infrequently over, I don't know, maybe the last 18 months or so. Generally through a comment on YouTube or sometimes through Twitter, sending me direct messages. And they were always the sweetest comments, and they were always the very nice messages. And I knew this person was going through something. I knew they'd been having health issues, and they didn't really, she didn't really like go into it, looking for a pity party, just kind of like kept me up to date on it. And I just had that feeling a number of times, and I always responded back. It wasn't like I ignored her or anything. I always enjoyed interacting, and we interacted a couple of times, but I just always had that feeling. And I kept telling myself every time a message came in that I was going to reach out a little bit more, that I was going to be proactive, that I wasn't going to wait for her to message me. And I didn't know it was as dire as it was. So, just a really lovely soul. Rest in peace, my friend. Rest in peace. I wish I had caught that one a little, and I wish I'd paid a little bit closer attention. But anyhow, top five benefits of a raw vegan diet. Number one is digestion. Now, as I'll tell you over and over, I just tell my story over and over. I have almost flawless digestion. I didn't have bad digestion even back when I was eating the worst of the worst standard American diet. It wasn't great. It wasn't what what I thought was pretty good digestion back then doesn't even compare today, but I didn't suffer a lot of problems back then. So I'm very fortunate in that sense. But yeah, now I can't even tell you, I very rarely have any unsettle in my stomach. Elimination is is pretty regular. It's it's good. Just everything about my digestion is good. It's I can't complain there. Now, for some people, and these are things I spent the weekend watching information type videos, a little bit on science and a little bit on problems that people have. I'm trying to become more educated on that. For people that actually may have gut disorders or whatever, there is. Something that I'm not qualified really to talk about. Maybe in the future I will, but sometimes there has to be some healing going on, and that's stuff that I didn't have to do, so I'm not familiar with. So, I do realize that sometimes your mileage may vary. Like there's things that people have to do sometimes initially to heal a gut disorder before they just kind of settle in to the way you would eat like on a regular basis every day. But yeah, we're taking in so much fiber, it's just like it's hard not to have good digestion on this lifestyle, on a high carb raw vegan lifestyle where you're eating lots of fruit, where you're eating lots of greens, with that fiber and stuff, you're just, flawless. Now, if you add in the mono meals, you can really dial in that digestion. Number two, disease prevention. And now, like I say, a lot of this stuff is not just raw vegan. I deal in the realm of raw vegan because I'm a mostly raw vegan, so a lot of these videos are keyworded for raw vegan. Don't get caught up on semantics. Don't get caught up on terms. I'm not into that kind of stuff. To a large extent, you can plug in plant-based on this because a lot of the disease prevention benefits are simply coming from that plant-based part of it. Yeah, I do believe in the raw. I believe I get that little bit extra bang, but I'm always working, to fill in the holes. And when I say disease prevention, I'm kind of talking about the majors there, like heart disease, cancer, diabetes. But, and I do believe that a plant-based lifestyle is our best form of prevention. More particularly for me, a raw vegan lifestyle, but it doesn't make us bulletproof. And this is something that I'm actually studying on, working on, and I will do a more detailed video at some point in the future. Just because, yeah, we're eating a plant-based diet, but it doesn't necessarily mean we are immune from having a heart attack or a stroke. There's still things that we need to pay attention to. But for the most part, plant-based lifestyle, any little things you want to read just for the proof to you, Preventing and Reversing Heart Disease by Caldwell Esselstyn, the China Study on Cancer by T. Colin Campbell. There's a number of works out there on diabetes, so read it. It is I think it's our best chance of preventing these diseases that are the top killers in the United States and probably in the world. What's the third one? The third one is a little bit different one. I kind of put the two together because it was kind of not enough to make one thing, but a clear, calm mind and a balanced emotional state. And that's why I watch a lot of people, like I observe a lot of people, and when they don't have that balanced emotional state, I call bullshit on their diet because they're not eating right. Because, this diet, I don't know. I guess I shouldn't make a blanket statement like these, but this is just a very calming diet, a very calming lifestyle. That was one of the first things I noticed within 6 months of starting to eat a raw vegan diet, plant-based, is that just my emotional balance. I wasn't so up and down. I wasn't so easy to get angry. I wasn't so easy to react to something. I was my mind worked a little differently. It worked, I slowed things down a little bit and I thought before I acted. But yeah, that was a huge thing for me. And that's actually one of the everybody wants to go to the physical. That's one of the bigger things for me. And that's why I watch and listen very carefully. And I'm like, a lot of times what people are saying doesn't match up with the way they are. Because you're not going to be all scattered and flipped out and stressed and kind of a nut all the time if you're eating like this. It's just not going to happen. The skin. You probably can't see it here, and I'm not talking about that. I got a lot of sunspots, from past being in the sun and stuff, but man, my skin is just as soft as a baby's. I don't have blemishes. I generally don't have blemishes. Very, very smooth, especially using this coconut oil. But it's pretty natural, if I'm in a humid environment, I've got good skin because, I've gotten a lot of the impurities out of my skin. I didn't have terrible skin to begin with. Once again, something I didn't really come from. But, I had different skin eruptions or whatever. I noticed much less of that now. I noticed my skin, like I say, just being so much softer than it used to be. But the skin is our largest organ. We detox through our skin, and like I've seen so many people, not just me, I'm not a good example because I don't have a good before and after, but I've seen so many people, have that like just amazing testimonial about how their skin changed, how it healed. Tanny Ross, she was talking about how she had nodular acne. I haven't really seen photos because she doesn't have her before was back before we all had cameras in our pocket all the time. Lissa of Lissa's Raw Food Romance, I know she's posted a number of photos, and we're talking within the last few years, where she had quite a lot of skin issues and now, clear skin. So definitely because it's hydrating, it's you're detoxing your body. Just this lifestyle is so good for our skin in every way. And I started to say, I won't say the next benefit is weight loss so much as it is weight stabilization. This is the first time I've ever done anything in my life as far as, initially I started out to lose weight, but it turned into just a journey of health. Or actually, I didn't start out with that as my prime objective, but I did need to lose weight in the beginning. But now this is the first time in my life doing like raw vegan, mostly raw vegan, high carb raw vegan, mostly low fat raw vegan, that I have ever just been stable in my life. In fact, I hear people like, they do, I almost want to like poke a little bit and just understand their experience more, not to judge when these raw vegans, like for some reason, they maybe change their program up a little bit, or they do something, they talk about, oh, I put on 10, 12, 15 unwanted pounds. How? I literally have to be vigilant all the time. I mean, I eat all I want every day. And, I've tried to put on some solid weight, and I think I've put on just maybe a little bit this first quarter of the year, but mostly, I mean, my weight's been for the last 3 or 4 years, my weight stayed within about a 4 to 5 pound range. It just doesn't move all that much. So I found this the absolute easiest way and the easiest lifestyle in the world for maintenance and stability of your weight. Most definitely. And if you're not getting that same experience, like I say, I'm starting to learn there are exceptions, and I do acknowledge those exceptions. But always look to the simple first. Don't immediately just because you can't lose weight or your weight's not what you want it to be, go for those like it's the thyroid or it's this or it's hormones or it's that. At least examine what you're eating first, and that's why it always goes back to it's good to write down what you eat, because then there's no guesswork. Or you can show it to somebody, people can go back in and say, no, it's because you got too much fat in there, or you've got this or that in there. So, but yeah, those are just my 5. There's so many. I watch these sometimes because they're just interesting. I'll just pop around and watch different videos on different subjects. And this is a common one. I like to watch a lot of videos on different people's perspectives on the benefits of a raw vegan lifestyle. And there's tons of them. I've actually seen one. I just didn't have the patience to sit down and watch the whole thing. I want to say it was 100 benefits of the raw vegan lifestyle. But anyhow, plant-based. People can argue till they're blue in the face, and I'm never going to get real upset at people arguing. I'm never going to debate with you, because what you're eating ain't going to affect my health. What you're eating ain't going to give me a heart attack or a stroke or cancer or whatever. So you got to make let's take a lot of this emotion out of this thing and everybody arguing and getting mad because this person eats this or says that. Eat what you're going to eat, but just be willing to deal with the consequences and take the responsibility for yourself. Anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If y'all like it, please give me a thumbs up. And I hope your week is off to a great start. Love you guys. Peace.